Girls, what subtle hints do you drop when you want a guy to ask you out? Story 1. 1. If I'm confident he's into me or might be interested, basically ask him out. 2. I casually give compliments and touch his arm lightly, fix his hair or tie or whatever. Actually look into his eyes while I'm laughing at his joke, even if it's not entirely funny. And also, try hard and pay extra attention to listen to him while he talks about something he's passionate about or tells me something that happened, so that I can remember what he might be interested in or link that information with something related 3 days later to show that I actually paid attention and listened to you and tried hard to remember what you said. It might sound normal, but for a girl like me who has her days and weeks completely packed and busy 90% of the time and has 176,528 things to remember, that one is a big deal for me. I'm literally too nervous to drop any hints. One time, the guy I liked hugged me and turned around and immediately broke a pot and the dirt spilled everywhere. So breaking stuff? No. You're supposed to drop hints, not pots. And right away we're getting into the practical stuff, with a little comedy finisher. Actually, I kind of like when these start off normal. Now the only way is up. I think there's going to be some pretty wild stories coming out. Story 2. The girl I'm interested in brought up feelings recently, since her friends said I liked her, and then brushed them off in a kind of sarcastic, playful rejection, saying something along the lines of, "But you're so ugly." Was this her trying to bring up feelings, or her trying to hint against feelings? That depends entirely upon whether or not you're actually ugly. If you're actual adults, or at least college age, would take it as her not liking you, because if she does like you, she's playing games, and you don't want a girl who plays games, because it'll just get worse once she has you. If you're young teens, she might be trying to stop rumors from spreading, because even if she does like you, she doesn't want everyone else to know that until she knows for sure that you like her. Or she might just be trying to spare your feelings. See, this is the kind of complex examination that I never got growing up. I have to admit, a lot of stuff like this just goes over my head. It wouldn't have occurred to me as a young person, and it wouldn't have occurred to me as an adult. Just reading it on the page, it seems to make sense. Wish I had that kind of insight in real time. Story 3. I almost never wear makeup. Just too much trouble to spend 10 to 20 minutes every morning. So wear makeup whenever I know I'm going to hang out with a guy I like. So in other words, if she usually doesn't wear makeup, except when you have plans together, she might like you. There's also this TV show I watch religiously. I once skipped the season finale to hang out with a guy I like. He knew how much I loved the show, so when it came up that I was missing the finale to be there, I played it off like, I'd rather be hanging out with you anyway. Better believe that's the night we confessed. So how does he know you don't usually wear makeup if every time he sees you, you wear makeup? That ending question is a solid question, I'll give you that. Maybe the guy has seen her as a friend in the past and she usually doesn't wear makeup? That's about the only thing I can figure out. I think that whole skipping the finale to hang out with him would be a much better indicator. I think that would be right on the edge of something that I would take a hint on. Story 4. I used to drop subtle hints. Now I'm 37 and find myself being much more direct. Met the guy I'm seeing online. Sent him a message first. We chatted for a while and he suggested meeting. He was a bit shy, so I was the one that gave him a hug and friendly kiss on the cheek at the end of the first date. We got drunk on the second date and ended up kissing him goodbye. He wanted to, but I could tell he was too shy to make a move, though I had the feeling he liked me. We've been together only a couple of months and have not been this happy for a long time. So glad that I made the move. Don't wait around for him to make the move, girls. Story 5. I like you. Want to go out? My super subtle testing the waters alternative. Edit. After we've been hanging out a while and there's clear interest on both sides. For Pete's sake, my boobs aren't being whipped out all willy-nilly. If you want to, you can play with my boobs. Just saying. Oh, and I'm single. Live in the southeastern U.S. Just saying. Edit. Oh boy. Just logged on to a wild ride. Edit. Guys, I'm 32. Edit. Yes, it's a trap. Good job, Admiral. Edit. There are no nudes. Edit. Jesus crackers, what the Sam Hill is happening here, and why does this never happen in real life? Story 6. The subtle hint I gave my significant other that was interested in him was telling him that I liked him more than I ever liked anyone before, found him extremely attractive, and would board a plane in a heartbeat just to go and do him. He didn't think I was being serious. Took another year before I finally managed to convince him that I was dead serious about wanting to do and date him. I'm gonna marry that man. So it seems like the lesson here is you can't just be open, you have to be persistent and patient. Took another year? Man, I hope it doesn't take me that long if I ever come across someone that's interested in me like that. I would really have to be more open and forthright. Story 7. These threads are always fun to read, but dudes and dudettes attracted to ladies, please keep in mind, every girl has different cues in real life. One girl may laugh at your jokes even if they aren't funny because she likes you. Another may laugh because she genuinely thinks they're funny but isn't attracted to you. Applying threads like these in the real world can lead to awkward, sad, or even scary consequences. Be careful out there. Also, fellow dudettes, stop beating around the bush. If you like a dude, then be a damn modern woman and ask the dude out. Don't wait for him to get to it. Story 8. When I was in high school, I had a serious crush on a guy that I didn't know. We would pass each other in the halls, smile, and say hi, but never had any real reason to meet. One day, I happened to find a book that someone had left in the cafeteria called something like 101 Best Spicy Positions. Can't remember exact title, but you get the idea. Later that day, when I knew I would pass him, I handed him that book and said, "Hey, is this yours?" and kept on walking. I could hear him shout out loud, "Woohoo! I'm really not that kind of girl," but it worked. Story 9. Forget subtle hints. But when I like someone and don't have the courage to tell them directly, laugh a lot at their jokes, play with my hair, smile constantly around them, blush a lot, stumble over my words, and find any and every excuse to talk to them. Forget subtle hints, proceeds to list subtle hints. Yeah, this one's a bit contradictory. Those subtle hints would probably be lost on me. They'd be a bit too subtle. I would think she's just being polite and wouldn't want to make any assumptions. Story 10. I get touchy, always text back in time, which barely ever happens, meet him without backing out, send him some ugly snaps of me and stuff like that. Well, generally try to show that I trust him. Assuming he just met you when you became attracted to him, he's not going to be able to tell if that's you giving hints or you just being you. Story 11. My move, which has a 100% success rate, is touching his arm when I laugh and saying his name, like, touch his forearm. "Oh my God, John, you are so ridiculous." And then hold eye contact as the laugh fades. Then, as the laugh fades into a gentle smile, still hold eye contact and then pull my arm away shyly and look away. Does this only work on guys called John? Story 12. I'm a coward, so ask his friends about him. Specifically, why he's missing at the group functions and act all, "aw." That way, they tell him that they think I'm interested in him. Yeah, this is like a high school tactic, but it worked on the last guy, and we're getting married next year. Okay, I gotta admit, that is a next level move. Getting someone else to do your work for you. You don't think the guy will pick up on your hints? You talk to guys that pick up the hints you're dropping about your feelings about him. That's not too bad. I like that. Story 13. This happened to me and the girl I'm currently dating. We were talking face to face for a while until one day she lost her phone, so I would call her from my phone. We started dating shortly after this because she was shy and couldn't ask face to face. Clever girl. Story 14. I see where you got confused though. Do you want to grab a drink sometime? Or alternatively, do you want to come back to my house and watch the Dark Knight trilogy? Bamboozled again. Poor guy though. Story 15. I once had a girl in a lecture hall in college just stare at me from across the room the entire lecture. She had no expression. When changed seats, she kept staring. She was hot too, but I was a wuss. That's where the bold hints can fall apart. Guys don't know what to make of them. If you drop those hints and we move towards you to try and close that gap, we always feel you might pull away and pretend you were joking, or that you meant something else entirely. That might especially be true if you're really hot and we think you might be out of our league. Story 16. I'm definitely rusty, but kicked my husband in the shins a lot, and I waterboarded him once. Worked out well, if your bedroom walls could talk. Story 17. I just get really quiet because if I open my mouth, everything stupid and awkward will escape from my brain. Story 18. All I've learned so far in this thread was that no girl had ever wanted to go out with me. Shh, baby, it's okay. Either no girl has hit on this guy, or any girl interested in him has dropped subtle hints that he just could not pick up on. It's kind of sad. It would be nice to feel that attraction, even if it never really went anywhere. If flirting is harmless, it can be fun. Story 19. Reading this so I can learn what hints should be dropping. Reading this so I can learn what hints I should be seeing. Story 20. I mention being single as casually as I can. If a girl asks me if I'm single or have a girlfriend, that's normally a big sign right there. Story 21. I laugh at every joke he says. I can't help it. It's not being fake. I just get a nervous giggle that won't seem to go away. That's an interesting one. A giggle as an expression of a nervous reaction. It also depends on what kind of laugh or giggle you have. Hopefully you have one that makes you look really cute. Hopefully you don't have a laugh where you snort when you're not in control. Story 22. With the guys I was interested in, I made the first move. None of this subtle junk. The attraction was always clear on both sides, though. No guessing games. Story 23. Mention my lack of plans, usually with going to be bored all day. Yeah, me too. Well, I'm going to try to clean the house or something. Talk to you later. Story 24. I've been told that I'd like to watch movie he told me he downloaded recently with you tonight. You have it on your computer, right? Want to go to your room and watch it together? Wink, wink. Counts as a subtle hint. So the illegal version of Netflix and chill. What would you call that? Pirate and private? Download and unload? Story 25. I stopped dropping any hints. Men apparently just can't process them. If I want to date a guy and he doesn't ask, I'll ask after a few days. From all the men, thank you. We appreciate it. Story 26. I brush up against his junk and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," flash a smile and walk away. Does a grimace count? Story 27. My hints are too subtle. Hashtag forever alone. Who is Vera Lone? And what kind of things do you do for her? Ah yes, forever misunderstanding hashtags. It's kinda sad this person never went bolder with her hints. Just shows that there's some hesitation on the other side, guys. In a way, you really aren't alone. Story 28. I'd suggest going to events together, joke a lot, and try to learn more about him by asking him questions, not stalking him. Story 29. What if the girl who drops all these hints is already attached? Yeah, really notice no difference in behavior between the single ladies and the taken ones. So maybe just no ladies are interested in me. Story 30. So girls don't hit on guys much is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, this thread is a bust. Oh, I hate that kind of defeatist attitude. You can't give up, man. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to any of the girls that might actually be interested in you. Maybe you just gotta try a different approach instead of the same one you've always been doing. Story 31. Wow, thanks for the confirmation. I now know I have never received a subtle hint. Story 32. My girlfriend wore a pencil skirt to our work and bent over in front of me a lot. I'm a really lucky guy. Story 33. I'm showing him that I'm interested with everything he says or does. I also low-key ask him, "Have you seen this movie? Let's go." That's cool. Initiating a get-together herself. There's that trope of women never deciding what they want to do and always leave it up to the guy. It's actually refreshing when a girl will take charge and actually say what she wants to do. Again, the subtle doesn't seem to work here. Story 34. As a guy, I found that if a woman mentions that she has a bleached butthole, then clown. Story 35. I ask him out. I mean, you can't really tell. Story 36. Damn it, I wish some hot girl would drop some hints my way. So lonely. Maybe a girl already has. You just haven't noticed it yet. You might need to pay more attention to the world around you. I'm pretty sure somebody has dropped hints around this person before. Story 37. Tell all his friends want to bang him. Good wingmen always pass it on. Story 38. Usually just drop my handkerchief for him to pick up. Story 39. I point at my crotch and whistle the A-Team theme. Why specifically the A-Team theme? Why not Magnum P.I. or Knight Rider or Bonanza? For me, it would have to be the Muppet Show theme. Story 40. Ladies, if you want to go out with a guy, I've got a great tip. Ask him out. Story 41. Hair flip, unrequited laughter, amalgamation of sneeze and crying. Story 42. I don't look at him and hope he asks me out. Ah, yes, the strategy of hope. I think too many people rely on this tactic. For some reason, they'll think it'll work. Fear is a bad thing to control you. You should let that go. Story 43. I smile at him. A lot. I have a resting shrew face. Story 44. We're all asking for a friend. Story 45. I sat on his lap. We're married now. I don't know if society today would be able to accept something like that. Sitting on his lap is a pretty bold move. That goes beyond just being a hint. Well, I guess it also depends if you're paying attention to him. If you're sitting on his lap and talking with someone else and ignoring him, that's something else entirely, though. Story 46. Thread solely being read by single men. Story 47. You like beer? Cool, let's get some. Story 48. Booby drop. No! Had plans for today? Well, forget that. Yeah, that's another pretty overt one, especially if the girl's looking at you when it happens. That falls on the not-so-subtle side. If it's happened to you, I'm happy for you, guy. Story 49. Guy here. I need this info. Story 50. I let a booby slip. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.